Hi, and welcome to Genealogy Coffee Break, brought to you by us, the librarians at the Center for Jewish History. My name is Moria Amit, and I'm here with my colleagues from the Center's Genealogy Institute and Reading Room. Today, we'll teach you about online resources you can use to better understand your DNA test results. During today's episode, feel free to send us your questions via the comments box, and we'll answer them live. If we don't get to your question or you're not watching live, you can always email your questions to us at gi@cjh.org. You may watch today's episode immediately after it airs, as well as all of our previous episodes at cjh.org/genealogy coffee break. Please note that you may view captions for this program by clicking on the settings icon on the bottom right of the video and turning on the auto captions. Did you know that we offer free group workshops and one-on-one sessions via Zoom? Group workshops are free for genealogical societies, nonprofit organizations, religious organizations, and schools, and your group does not have to be Jewish. Topics range from online genealogy basics to preserving your family photos and documents. Jewish workshops can be tailored to Ashkenazi, Sephardi, or Mizrahi groups. If you have a research question that would be best answered with a visual demonstration, you may request a one-on-one video chat with one of our librarians. Email gi@cjh.org to schedule your group workshop or video chat. This program is supported in part by grants from our funders, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, Humanities New York, and the National Endowment for the Humanities. Today, I will be covering 5 free starting points: the websites of the major DNA testing companies, the International Society of Genetic Genealogy, Kitty Cooper's blog, Family History Fanatics videos, and finally, DNA Newbie Facebook group. While the Center for Jewish History cannot endorse any for-profit companies, the most popular companies for genealogy-specific DNA testing are Family Tree DNA, MyHeritage, Ancestry, and 23andMe. Each of these companies has analyzed DNA samples from millions of individuals and has created a vast database containing each consumer's DNA profile. When you submit your DNA sample to one of these companies, they will add your DNA profile to their database and compare it to all of their other consumers' profiles. For those seeking genealogical information, the most widely available and most broadly useful test is the autosomal DNA test, which is also known as the Family Finder test. This test is offered by all 4 of the major DNA test companies mentioned in the last slide. When you order an autosomal DNA test, your results will be made up of 2 reports. Your cousin matches report is a list of the company's consumers that are predicted to be genetically related to you, along with their estimated degree of relatedness. Here, first cousin, second cousin, third cousin, and so on are used as catch-all terms for a variety of relationships. For example, a match who is estimated to be your first cousin may actually be one of your great-grandparents, great-aunts or uncles, great-grandchildren, or great-nieces and nephews, because you share approximately the same amount of DNA with each of those relatives. Your ethnicity estimates report tells you approximately how much of your DNA likely came from different geographical regions or ethnic groups within approximately the last 100 to 500 years. That being said, no 2 reports are alike. Companies may differ in their terminology. For example, one may use the term genetic communities, while another one uses genetic groups to refer to the same concept. Companies may also differ in how they categorize your results. For example, each company sets its own thresholds to determine the degree of relatedness, for example, first cousin versus second cousin, between you and other individuals in their database. In addition, each company compares your DNA to different reference populations, which affects the specificity of their ethnicity estimates, for example, Northern Europe versus Norway. This is why it is crucial to consult the resources of the company that you tested with. So now I'll proceed to show you the online educational resources that are offered by each of the major DNA test companies, starting with Family Tree DNA. Of all the major companies, Family Tree DNA has the most extensive user's guides for beginners, breaking down the science behind each test for the non-scientifically inclined and explaining each element of your results in clear, non-technical language. Its online learning center also features an extensive library of articles and webinars, including several on Jewish-specific topics. MyHeritage also has an educational portal called the Knowledge Base, with a collection of over 80 articles, webinars, and brief how-to videos on how to interpret its DNA test results, predominantly aimed at beginners. These are well-produced and contain lots of helpful illustrations. Ancestry has 2 separate pages for customers seeking more information about its DNA test. Its customer support page has a relevant section with over 20 articles, and its YouTube channel features a series of tutorial videos called The Barefoot Genealogist, some of which discuss how to make sense of your DNA results. And lastly, 23andMe's customer care page features some 24 articles on understanding your genealogically relevant DNA reports. Moving on to the next resource, the International Society for Genetic Genealogy, or ISOG, is a nonprofit organization dedicated to advocating for and educating the public about the use of genetics as a tool for genealogical research, while promoting a supportive network for genetic genealogists. One of its primary educational tools is its wiki, which is a free encyclopedia on genetic genealogy created by volunteers and managed by a few of the foremost experts in the field. The wiki features a glossary of terms commonly used in genetic genealogy, such as endogamy, brief articles on hundreds of topics, and most importantly, the largest list of links to online resources on genetic genealogy, including blogs, videos, Facebook groups, and more. That being said, since there are an overwhelming number of online resources listed here on the ISOG wiki, I thought I would give a few specific recommendations of where to look beyond the website of your DNA test company. For blogs, I would recommend starting out with Kitty Cooper's blog. Kitty Cooper is a passionate, self-taught genetic genealogist who blogs about the lessons she's learned from interpreting her own and her clients' DNA reports. Her blog is a great source of answers for some of the most frequently asked questions about DNA testing, such as why don't I share more DNA with my sibling, and how can the X chromosome help me distinguish between matches on my maternal and paternal sides. Kitty even answers a few questions about the unique challenges of understanding Ashkenazi Jewish DNA reports. For videos, I would recommend checking out the Family History Fanatics videos. The Family History Fanatics are Andy and Devin Noel Lee, a couple that specializes in creating educational content on a range of topics in genealogy. Andy, who is the more scientifically inclined of the pair, has developed a free YouTube video series called Genetic Genealogy Explained. This series is comprised of over 50 engaging, well-illustrated instructional videos geared towards beginners. Like Kitty Cooper's blog, this series excels at answering frequently asked questions, as well as correcting common misconceptions about DNA test results. And finally, for those interested in joining a Facebook group, I would recommend starting with the DNA Newbie Facebook group. The DNA Newbie Facebook group was created in 2014 for beginners wishing to learn how DNA testing can help their genealogical research and to assist others in the same process. Currently, the group has 16,000 members and boasts an active discussion forum with approximately 3 new questions posted every day, and each question typically receiving between 5 and 25 responses on the same day. In order to view and contribute to this discussion forum, you must first join the group. If you have questions, you may write to us now via the comments box. If we don't get to your question during this episode, we will respond to you by private message. Or if you're not watching live, please feel free to email us your questions at gi@cjh.org. For updates on this and other Center for Jewish History programs, please join our email list at bit.ly/uppercase CJH lowercase e-news. If you enjoyed this program, we hope you will consider making a small donation at cjh.org/donate now. Any amount helps us put on programs like this one. Thank you for watching and participating, and we look forward to seeing you again next Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. for the next episode of Genealogy Coffee Break. Until then, good luck in your search and enjoy your week.